Hello everybody, welcome back in. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get started, if you would please like and subscribe to the channel, shoot me a comment with any feedback, or if you want to learn anything in particular about real estate or business. With that being said, today we're going to talk about my recent trip to the Inman Connect event in Las Vegas 2021. It was an awesome event. I learned a lot, and we're going to talk about everything from tips and tricks to the cost, where you should stay, how you should get around, and if it's worth it to you to go see one of the future Inman Connect events. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get to the content. First thing I want to talk about is the actual location of Inman Connect in Las Vegas. The last two times I've gone, which was 2019 and 2021, there was no Inman Connect in 2020. It was in the Aria Resort in Las Vegas. This is truly one of the most luxurious resorts you're going to find in Las Vegas. If you stay in the actual rooms themselves, it's a beautiful room. When you walk in the room, the curtain opens and you get to see just the beautiful strip of Las Vegas there. And if you are attending the event, it's a quick 5-minute walk, if that, to get to the event and back. So if you need some private time in between sessions or anything, it's not a huge pain to get to your room. You actually get off on the promenade and it's just a quick little walk over. And the venue is just truly amazing. I mean, everything was really nice, high end, and you just felt like you were in luxury the entire time that you're there. When it comes to getting around Las Vegas for the Inman Connect event, and obviously you're not in the event the entire day, you're there for 6 to 8 hours throughout the day. When it comes to actually going out and exploring Las Vegas, I typically like to have a rental car anytime I'm in a different town that I'm not used to. If I fly in, I just get a rental car at the airport. In Las Vegas, I really don't recommend that. It's so easy and affordable to Uber around everywhere. From the airport to the Aria Hotel when we landed, the Uber cost right around $30 plus tip. Really not that expensive. On the way back to the airport, it was a little bit more expensive because of the time we were flying out. I want to say it was around $40 plus tip. And then getting around the strip, I mean, if you don't want to walk, it's so easy to get an Uber. I mean, you can be in an Uber within 5 minutes. There's so many Ubers in Las Vegas. And to get down the strip, it really doesn't cost that much. And we actually also hopped in a couple taxis while we were in town too. And the taxis, if you're just going from, just say the Aria to Treasure Island, you're looking at $10-15 plus tip. So $20 is what we were giving cash to the taxis. It was real easy to get around and be a lot less hassle than getting a rental car in a place like Las Vegas. If you've never been to Las Vegas before, it's very difficult to get a rental car, find parking, and continue to move around the strip while you're there. So I highly recommend that you either take a taxi, which would be more expensive from the airport, but just getting around the strip, take a taxi, take an Uber or a Lyft, and that's a super convenient way to get around, and that's how we got around while we were in Las Vegas. The actual event itself, you go down the escalators in the Aria and you come out to pretty much the whole floor is Inman. They have a bunch of side rooms where they're doing a bunch of different things. They give you a schedule of what is going off, when it's going off. So if you are interested in agent content or marketing, you'll go to a specific room. If you're interested in broker content or CRMs or anything else within the real estate realm, you're going to go to a different room at different times. So they really have it laid out really well, and within probably a couple of hours we had exact locations for all the rooms, so we knew exactly where to go, when to go there, and the app that we downloaded that they provided was very easy to use. It had your ticket right in there, and then the cool thing is that they were actually they gave us badges that they scanned, and everywhere we went they would just scan our badges, and we got recordings of all the speaking that we went to. So if you went and saw a specific speaker and then you were taking notes, but maybe you missed something, or maybe you want to go back and re-listen after the event, we got an email with all the events that we attended, and we were able to go back to that content and rewatch it if we want to. I don't know how long that content lasts for, if it's something that's there forever and we can always go back and rewatch those videos, but very, very cool. They had a humongous main area where that's where the coffee and they had light breakfast, snacks throughout the day. They had a bunch of vendors in that room. It was a really cool area to move around, meet new people. And then if you wanted a little break from actually sitting in front of the speakers at the main stage, they had an area where you could sit down with your laptop and you could still watch what was going on the main stage from that area, but you could, have a table and be doing some work while you were at it. And then, of course, the vendors were truly amazing. Everybody just wanted to get to know everybody. Of course, they were selling stuff, but you got to learn what's really going on in the real estate industry and what people are focused on. And I thought it was really, really entertaining and also very informative for somebody within the real estate industry. So when it comes to the overall layout of the event, I thought it was done really well. If I could change one thing about the event and the layout, I would say that maybe agent specific things would always be in a specific location, and broker specific things would be in a different location, but I guess that would be kind of hard to figure out. When it comes to the speakers at the event, to me, that was really the drawing point for anybody within the real estate industry. You had the CEOs of Realogy, you had the CEO of Compass, you had the CEO of CoStar, which is now making an expansion into the local residential markets with Homes.com and HomeSnaps that they've recently purchased. So you have a ton of great speakers there really talking about what's going on in our current market today and what they're working on within their companies so that you can take that back to your business and stay on the cutting edge of everything that's going on. So the speaker list is never short on names, and you're really going to be in front of a lot of super powerful people within the real estate industry. My personal favorite speaker at the event was the CEO of CoStar. His name's Andy Florence. He really broke down what Zillow's doing to our industry and how they're combating it with their purchases of HomeSnap and Homes.com, and really giving the power back to the agents in our marketing. And now I'm sure that they're obviously in it to make a profit, and they're going to be doing their own different ways of making a profit, but they really have a different view of how to empower agents versus working against the agents when it comes to our marketing, especially when it comes to our listings and how that's going to work out. He also had some very entertaining things to say about Zillow. He made them sound like they were the mafia and a couple different things. So really entertaining conversation. I learned a lot from what he did, and it made me want to go and really do a deep dive into their companies and what they're doing, so to see if there's something I can add into my business. The cost would be probably the biggest consideration when it comes to whether or not you should do a trip like this. However, it is a business trip, so get with your CPA and break down what exactly you can write off and what you can't, because a trip like this should be almost fully a write-off. So that's going to help you come tax time. So for me, my business, my real estate brokerage was the one who actually footed the bill to send me, because we're hoping to learn a lot that we can bring back to our real estate brokerage. So it was a tax write-off. The airplane ticket, I think, was around $300 per person. I did pay a little bit more to get the bigger seats in the front of Spirit Airlines, just a little travel tip that I recommend. I'm a big guy, and I definitely don't fit very comfortably in coach seats, so if I can get a big seat, I'm going to do that. It's usually only about $50 to $70 each way to get that extra leg room and a little bit bigger seat. Highly recommend that. When it comes to the Aria, again, it's super convenient to stay there. However, if you're trying to do it on a budget, you will save money by looking at some other resorts nearby that are not as high end. I know that you can get rooms in Vegas for usually as low as $50 a night, especially if you're a member of that particular casino. You could even get free rooms depending on what you're doing. But at the Aria, if you want to stay there without being a member and without having enough money gambled there to where you get discounts, you're looking at about $340 a night is what we paid for our rooms. Again, very luxurious rooms, very nice, super clean, and a great environment to sleep for the little bit that I did sleep while I was there. And then you're also going to pay a $150 resort fee. That was for 3 nights total, so I'm guessing the resort fee is somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 to $70 a night for the resort fee. And then when it comes to the actual Inman tickets, so you have to purchase tickets to the event. They're definitely a for-profit company. They charge about $1,500 per ticket. However, if you are an Inman Select member, you get a discount, and if you are very strategic with when you purchase the tickets, usually the earlier the better, but sometimes if you're super late to going to an Inman event, you'll get late discounts that are as good, if not even better, than the people that were early to it, because they're trying to sell out the event at the very end. So if you're patient and you wait for the right time, you'll get a discount. We ended up getting about an $800 discount on our tickets, so we paid about $700 per ticket to actually go to the Inman event. So if you're just one person going, you're going to have I stayed for 3 nights. I left on the red eye the next day, so I saved a hotel cost there. So you're going to look at about $1,000 for 3 nights of a hotel room. You're going to look at about $700-800 for the Inman if you get a deal on the tickets. If not, $1,500 for the Inman event. And then you're going to have travel expenses, eating expenses, and just know everything in Las Vegas. Or if you decide to go to the New York City one, everything in Las Vegas and New York City is more expensive than a traditional city, right? I mean, I bought one latte at Starbucks. I want to say it was like $7.50 compared to $5.50 in Pittsburgh. So you really can't eat a meal anywhere in Las Vegas without it being close to $100. So just know that going into it, your actual cost while you're there is going to be significantly higher as well. And then you're probably, if you're a gambler, you could lose some money too while you're there. So it might end up being a pretty costly trip for you. However, again, anything to do with the business side of your trip should be able to be a discount on your taxes, be able to be a write-off on your taxes. And you're going to probably get enough information and knowledge from the event to make it worthwhile if you can afford to go to one of these events, which I would highly recommend. If you're a real estate agent, I would highly recommend it. There's enough on the marketing side. You get to check out the technology and toys that are being developed for the real estate industry. You get to move and shake with a lot of the big players in the industry. Like, I met a couple people who I'll be interviewing on this channel in the near future. So that you just get a lot of connections. You learn a lot. You get to see what's going on in the industry. You get to play with the new technology. So it is very informative and a great event to go to if you are a real estate agent or a real estate broker. If you were in the property management sector or maybe a real estate investor, I mean, you could still do it and get the write-offs and get a trip to Vegas out of it. However, I don't know if it would really add enough value if you are in one of those subsectors of real estate. So I really think it's mostly for people who have a profession in sales of real estate, whether a brokerage or an agent level. But hey, if you want to just go to Vegas and check out what's going on in real estate, it's not a bad idea for anybody within the realm of real estate. So while my main tip for going to Las Vegas for the Inman Select event was getting around with Uber and taxis versus renting a car, my other real big piece of advice if you're going to Inman would be to either A, pack an additional luggage, or B, pack light so that you have more space in your luggage, because you're going to get a ton of goodies from the vendors. And I'm not talking about cheap stuff that you just want to throw away. There's some really good stuff. I got some travel chargers, some power banks. I got a lot of really good things from the event, and it was free. Some clothes, some just some really cool stuff that they give away at these events. And they even gave us some stuff to take home for our kids. There was some stuffed animals and some balls and stuff like that. So you definitely are going to want some extra space in your luggage. Plus, if you have a significant other at home or children at home, you're going to want to buy them a souvenir to take home to let them know how much you missed them. So definitely, that's one mistake I made. I should have packed a little lighter or taken an additional piece of luggage with me. I highly recommend that you pack light or take an additional piece of luggage for you. That is my brief rundown of my trip to Las Vegas for the Inman Connect 2021 event. I highly recommend, if you're within the real estate industry, that you check it out or at least contemplate going, because it's very cool. You get to learn a lot. You get to meet some cool people. You get to see what's happening within our industry in real estate. I had a lot of fun, and I definitely plan on attending future Inman events. Hopefully, we'll even be able to speak at future Inman events. It's something that maybe I'm working on too as well. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit me up on social media at ENS Hoover. And if you need anything, please shoot me a comment or a direct message on social media. We'll talk to you guys later at the next video.